Warning. Broken simulation. Broken simulation. With Sam Tripoli.
Welcome to Broken Simulation starring Johnny Woodard. Starring Johnny Woodard. Can I start that again?
You're not going to do my nickname, so.
Welcome. Can I start again? Welcome to Johnny Woodard Presents Broken Simulation starring Johnny Woodard. We're in it. We're in it, Johnny. I know you're going to play the fuck up too, so just let it ride.
Only in the Patreon Rockfin version of
Okay, all right. Johnny, we're in it, guys, live from the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studios. Wolfpack, what is it? Wolfpack. No, samtripoli.gold. And you, if you have to use a promo code, it's tinfoil, but I don't even think you need it. Get that precious metals, dude. Get that precious metals. Bang, bang, pow.
World's going to hell in a handbasket.
World's going to hell in a handbasket. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hell's going to all my doo-dah day.
I like it. You can't, if you're listening or watching, I'm rather watching on YouTube, you can't see all of Sam Tripoli, but he's sky blue from top to tails.
Yeah, right, dude, I'm slowly just descending into my pajamas phase where I just wear basically pajamas everywhere. I'm so over jeans. I never want to wear jeans again. Track suits and sweatsuits, that's all we need.
They do remind you that you've gained weight if you wear jeans. I've noticed that with me. Like, I'll have a pair of jeans, and then if they're getting tight, I'm like, oh.
I was wearing 34s, and my hips hurt.
Got long legs.
I got long legs, dude. They're heavy, too. I don't know if you've heard. They're fucking heavy.
Super heavy. That's what I hear.
Johnny, how you been, dude? How you been?
I'm in the streets, brother. Just living life.
Are you on the streets, Johnny? Honestly, can I be honest with you? You're living one of the best lives I've ever seen. You are constantly out on the scene.
I'm not.
Watching
I'm really not.
legends.
Once a week I'll go out, and then the rest is all at home, just self-loathing and anxiety and just like in my own head, like churning, wheels turning.
I've been into I am so mentally shish kebab right now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, you're running hard, aren't you? You've been running.
I'm going hard all the time, and flying is now starting to catch up with me. I'm like really
flying is bad for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to be like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Like today, it's so funny. We're flying, and you know when you're taxiing, that's what they call it. When you're taxiing, they don't want you to get up, but they're totally fine with you getting up when they're flying 500 miles an hour in the air. Yeah, but when they're on the ground, they want you to sit down. I'm like, dude, either I'm using the bathroom or we're gonna have a terrorist attack right here on the plane. I'm gonna shit my pants. Okay, what do you want? I already had dude, I had to work. So I went, I've been drinking a lot of liquid, so I'm pissing a lot on the plane. And I pee, and I get done. I come to go sit in my seat, but for some reason, I just plop in my seat. I don't descend like properly. I just plop.
Like all the time or just this one time?
This time, I just plop like I'm jumping into my recliner at home. I just plop. And dude, my fucking whole seat shakes. And the seats behind me, their whole tray shakes. Their drinks go everywhere. Oh, no. And I heard, oh, God. And I'm like, no, bro. No. And it was a black guy and an Asian chick. I'm like, did I just commit a hate crime on the plane, dog?
I've been the victim of that before, where somebody sat down, like plopped like that, and it's just ruined my shit.
I got up. I got all I cleaned them off. Oh. I'm apologizing the whole time. They're like, it's fine. I'm sorry. Like,
did you tell them you had super heavy legs?
Yeah. I go, listen, it's a condition I have. I have super heavy legs. I'm kind of the spokesman for it. I'm known for my heavy legs. And
we gotta get some merch out there.
Yeah, we gotta do a lot of things. Okay,
the foundation.
Yeah, you want to make money off my condition? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's going to the nonprofit.
It's going to the nonprofit, which is so Johnny can buy
to be clear,
more tickets to see people who are on their way out.
It's going to the nonprofit for which I am a executive board member and get a salary.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's the best, dude. We got to create a nonprofit.
That's, by the way, have you read the stories about how that's what they're doing up in San Francisco with
100%.
These homelessness nonprofits?
They're never going to fix Johnny, you don't know the craziest thing.
What?
So I did this weekend in Dallas. I'll get into all those crazy stories. I was hanging out with the Danger Cats. They're great guys. A lot of fun. A weird week. I'm going to be honest. It was a weird week in Dallas.
Did you get protested by the Inuit or anything?
Oh, you don't even know. We'll get into that.
Okay.
You don't even know.
Okay.
So anyways, I'm eating breakfast with the Danger Cats. They're telling me, right, are you ready for this? So they got in trouble for that shirt, right, that they put out.
Yeah.
Then they start to tell me that like this kind of new like thing they do when the government tries to get you to check yourself out. If you know, I'm trying to do words that won't get us clicked.
Yeah, voluntarily leave this earthly plane.
Yeah. When the Canadian voluntarily leave this earthly plane program.
Yeah. Rapid departure, we call it. Yeah.
So do you know what they're doing that mostly with?
What kind of people?
Yeah.
What is what like
the homeless? Oh, do you know how many they say they guesstimate that the Canadian government has allegedly? I think I gotta say that allegedly helped leave this planet and this plane.
Heaven's Gate style, right?
Heaven Gate style.
Right.
What do you think that number is?
500. I don't know.
10,000.
Are you kidding,
dude? That's crazy, right? And nobody talks about it. So they're basically like
somebody's finally doing something about homelessness. Finally,
you're like some people are shishing about, but dude, that's very dark, dude.
Oh, it's
like,
evil.
and coming from a guy who called everybody Nazis, dude.
That's evil. Oh yeah, really?
Right?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, like, dude, eugenics is the most Nazi thing you could do. By the way,
yeah.
Right? That's so crazy to me. It's like it was a very interesting week. I'm gonna be honest with you. Dallas is one of my favorite cities. This is North Dallas. Plano's great. The comedy club, House of Comedy, is one of my favorite places to play. And it was just a weird week. I'm gonna be honest.
Terrible airport, Dallas Fort Worth. It's one of the worst airports.
I'll get into that too. We'll get into that. But so I've been doing comedy long enough, okay, to know that there are certain dates that don't do well with comedy. Like people aren't going to come out. One of the worst ones is Mother's Day. Like nobody goes out during Mother's Day. It's just
the worst thing you can have is getting heckled with your mother sitting there.
yeah,
You know.
okay.
Yeah.
But another one is tax week.
Yeah, it's
because
obvious.
people are dropping money on shit they don't want to pay, right? They're like, dude, why? I just dropped 2 G's and paying all. It's effing ridiculous. Why am I gonna go spend money, right?
Yeah, you're never more conscious of your financial limitations than around tax season.
Yeah, so I'm just like, oh, dude, why did I do conspiracy? Why did I do comedy chaos last week, and then do this weekend here? It's tax season. I need to remember that. I do not do taxing. You know what else is a bad week to do? St. Patty's Day and the week of Halloween. The week of Halloween, nobody's going to the comedy club because they want to go look at women dressed as zombie sluts.
Unless you could do like a theme show or something like that.
Unless it's like such a dedicated crowd. I mean, they got to be really dedicated. And you have to have such a big crowd that a small group of them will come see you. So the shows weren't packed. I'll be the first one to admit that. The shows weren't packed. It was very weird because I crush it in Dallas mostly. You know, it's one of those cities I have a big following. But I was just there 6 months ago. So it's just like, and then, okay, so we're doing this, right? And
is that your choice? How does that happen that you get booked
they
there?
had a week open. They asked me if I wanted to do it, and I love Dallas. I love going to Dallas. So I took it. And that's on me. It's so funny because I'm like, finally I can advertise on Facebook, right? I found a way to do it, to do Instagram ads and stuff. Mm-hmm. I looked at my totals. Dude, I was getting, every click cost me over $1.
That's not good.
That's not good. They're like, oh, dude, this is going to reach like 15,000 people, 20,000 people. It reached 300 people. And I don't think I'm coming to, this is inside baseball. I'm not going to get too much into it. But a lot of things were working against me, right? So I'm doing a show. It's a really good show. Now, I've had enough of these internet trolls to show up at my show to know when they're there.
I see. Yeah.
Okay? They show up, they don't make eye contact, and they pout the whole time. They're just pouters.
Arms crossed, negative, as Brody Stevens would say.
They just do this. They just do this the whole time. Or they just like mean mug you like that. And you're like, nobody comes to a comedy club that angry.
What kind of life do you have if you're doing that, first of all? If you're
Well,
taking
Johnny,
paying, like
ugly and unsuccessful. That's who does it. The ugly and the unsuccessful. It's like you just got to let them go. And like most of these internet trolls, they're like, internet trolls are like baby birds, right? And like like if you're a big name and I'm not that big of a name, but if you're a big name, you're like mama bird, okay? And the only way baby birds eat is if mama bird feeds them.
Yeah, gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you don't feed them, they just die.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, because when the internet first started, everybody was like, dude, I'm just, it's like killing hecklers. You just start dropping bombs on these people.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That's not typically been your philosophy, though. It's not.
No, that's what I'm saying right now. It used to be murder these motherfuckers. And then you realize that just feeds the baby bird.
Are you trying the new philosophy? Is it working?
Yeah, not feeding the baby bird.
Okay.
Just really letting it go.
Did they come after you? Like heckle?
So, I'm doing this show, right? And these guys, so let's just say it's like two couples, one couple black, one couple Latino and white.
Sounds like a nice little adult film.
A group. They're there together, and they are just mean mugging me the whole time. And the one chick is like clicking in her thing.
What's that mean?
She's doing this the whole time. While I'm trying to do jokes, she's like,
what does that mean, though? Does that mean something?
no, that means she's trying to distract me.
Just trying to fuck you up.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're there. They're angry.
Kinda
Okay.
Clucking away like a
Yeah.
chicken. Okay.
So I go to this guy. I go, hey, dude, what's up? What are you? Are you Latino? He goes, no, I'm Puerto Rican. I go, that's Latino. And apparently that flipped this dude out. He got really angry, and him and his white girlfriend really got angry. And they sat there angry, pouting the whole time. And then they transpired. And the other guy there would not look up from his table. And I knew that's why he was there. So I started doing stand-up, and the guy starts going, hey, dude, there's no one here at the show, dog. And listen, Friday night shows are typically slow. It's just the way it is, unless you're a Burt Kreischer or something like that. Friday nights are usually the slow show. There's a reason. Steve Martin said he quit comedy because the Friday night late show. They're dog shit shows.
So funny. Yeah.
I would say there's like 100 people at the show, maybe
Well, that's not
80.
bad.
80, right? On a Friday night late show. After fucking with yeah, it's not a big crowd. It's a Friday night late show crowd. And guys, I will always be honest with you. Okay? If I'm going to brag when I sell out a show, when we're on the road and it's packed, I'm going to be honest with you when it's not that packed.
Can I just give you a word from ChatGPT? Yes, Puerto Ricans are considered Latino.
Yes, 100%.
Confirmed.
So he gets really mad at me, right? So I'm doing my whole thing, and so I forget what tees him off. Oh, he starts going, look at fucking empty, man. It's empty. I go, it looks like there's people here. I go, what do you do for a living, little man? You look like you do fucking lawn maintenance at a senior living center. Okay, shut the fuck up. Oh, really, man? Oh, yeah, man. Fuck you, dude. And then the crowd then the crowd turns on them.
Oh, that's good. That's
then
what
the
you
black
want,
guy gets up and he walks, and it's literally a leprechaun. Because we know leprechauns are what? Black pygmies, right? They're like tiny black people. Look it up, Johnny.
Is that a real thing?
Look up. Leprechauns, black pygmies. Look it up. All of a sudden, he's like, yeah, he goes, the black leprechaun goes, do your jokes. Do your joke. And I knew exactly what he's talking about. So guess what I did, Johnny?
What?
I did my joke, okay? Right there, bang, place goes nuts. He gets up, and I think he's normal size. He gets up, he's a tiny man.
You mean like
Oh, Johnny, I'll
by
send you this.
medically like a little person or just short?
I mean, he is a tiny person. Hold on. So he goes, do your joke. So I did my joke because I knew that's why they were there. They were there for crazy, right?
What do you mean?
They were there to fuck. They were there to press me.
Oh, on that. I got
on that joke.
Okay. And
okay.
Of course it kills.
So he goes and gets up. He walks towards me. He goes, do your joke. I go, I already did the joke. You didn't hear it? I already did the fucking joke. He goes, do your joke. Be funny. I go, I did the joke. And that's when everybody in the crowd just goes towards this guy. And then the Latino midget gets up and he's like, hey, I'll fuck you up, bro. And this whole group of insurance people, there were insurance people there. There were Asian bodybuilders there. They were all fans of mine, ready to thump.
Yeah, you have a diverse group of
So the crazy thing begins. So the place being ran by girls, women. They're being ran by women.
Do you mean no security? Is that what you're trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is that this place is being regulated by 6-foot Amazon white chicks with tattoos.
Okay.
Right?
Could be worse.
It could be worse because these chicks didn't give a shit. They were like, I'll fuck you up.
Got your video here. Is that for now?
Here we go.
Sorry, autoplay. Don't know. Bring it over.
So look how tiny this dude is. That's him standing up.
Oh, yeah. He's barely taller.
Like, look at that. He gets up. Here we go. Ready, play it.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Look, he gets up. Look how short he is. Now look at me. Here I come. Look how big I am with my flat ass. Look at this. Here comes the sheriff. This guy's a fan of mine. Here comes all the fans. Here comes all the chicks. Here's the fucking midget Latino guy.
This music's gonna fuck.
Look, bang, bang, bang.
Who's he pointing at?
He's just throwing.
There's Bill Gates.
Bill Gates is there. Now this is a chick who kept calling me the N-word because she loved it. So I got heckled by ethnic midgets.
Do you have the unedited video?
What's that? That's it. I mean,
no, but with somebody cut like some stuff. Do you have like?
Yeah, I mean, do you really need the music? Can you just play
well,
by
no,
itself?
I feel like we're missing a few beats there, aren't we? Like I want to see the whole. I want to hear everything he said.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get the whole day. He sent me the short version. Right? He gets up.
Yeah, so this guy is just going on about.
Yeah. Yeah, man, do your joke. Look how tiny he is.
Do the show. And those are the people that work there?
No, yeah, well, these are the people.
Cowboy? Who is the cowboy?
He's just a fan.
Oh,
and and then this guy wants to fight these insurance people. And then, because some people have guns in the fucking audience, I think, because it's Dallas. Yeah. And then she's going nuts.
Now, when you were on stage looking down at him, were you thinking that you might have to test some jiu-jitsu again?
So I know if I get off that stage, all hell's going to break loose. I can't get off that stage.
What is that? You got some kind of power like in the dynamic there?
Because then it just becomes a full-on riot. Because everybody's swinging at that point. If I get off that stage, it becomes a swinging match.
If he comes
and the
on
only
stage,
reason I don't do that is because I don't want any of the employees or my fans to get in trouble. If I jump up, everybody jumps in, and then it's chaos. Then it
could be like lawsuits and
yeah.
That's wild, dude.
It's so crazy. So I mean, so what happens?
What do you think? Can we just talk about what you think happened though? Like, these people just saw it on Twitter, and were like, "I'm gonna find where this guy is."
So afterwards, Brett, one of the Danger Cats, interviews them.
Oh, okay.
And then the white chick is like, "You can't tell ethnic jokes. You're white." Of course, the white chick says that because
ethnic jokes.
Yeah, you can't tell ethnic jokes because that's white women, right? We've made political correctness to make them comfortable.
Of course.
Right? If a Latino asks a Latino that, she's fine with it. If I ask it, it must be because she's just garbage, right? And like listen, I love white women. I'm going to work on not being disparaging against them.
Okay. Well, hey, how about you stop doing stupid shit? Then we'll stop talking about it.
But it's like, man, these chicks that bang ethnic men literally think they're civil rights leaders. They just do. That chick, that fat white chick, thinks she's Rosa Parks.
So funny.
Like she's
Wait,
making.
Is that the one clapping, or is that the one that got kicked out?
The one that got kicked out.
Okay.
Right? The one that got kicked out.
That's so funny.
It's just chaos. So he goes and interviews them, right? Brett interviews them. They explain that they think I can't do those jokes. Okay. And then the guy, what the leprechaun says is that he didn't even know it was me until I did the joke, right? Which is total BS because he sat there pouting the whole time. Okay.
And you had clocked him already.
I've done this enough to know when the pouties are there, when the trolls are there. You can just tell when they're mean mugging you. When everyone else is laughing, they're just
okay. What an asshole,
right?
Like, get a life.
Yeah, it is. I mean, dude, imagine hating something so much that you spend time like
and then showing up
Johnny,
and not really doing it. You didn't do anything.
This is 50 minutes into a show. They sat there for 50 minutes.
That's the best part, dude. They paid
Johnny,
to be audience members for the guy that they're trying to protest
Johnny,
or something?
is there anything you could watch for 50 minutes? For 50 minutes.
Oh God, no.
And there's nothing.
No. I'm trying to think. Like,
so they go interview him. They go interview him. Brett does. They interview her.
They have a good little operation, don't they, for that kind of like turning.
They love to
footage.
do this.
Yeah,
their whole thing is shooting chaos.
Yeah, they're good at that.
So they shoot. And so then the guy explains it, and then they're saying the N-word over and over again as they're explaining everything together. Brett's saying it to them. They're saying it to them. Everyone's having a discussion about it. Well, some of the staff hears it, and they get upset because the word's being said 1,000 times. Oh, God. And I'm just like, I'm going to be honest with you.
You see what you did, Sam.
I just can't. Everything is context. Does nobody get that? Does nobody get that?
And then I don't know if you saw on Twitter, what's the guy's name? Dom Luca or whatever?
Johnny, I listen, Owen Benjamin gets all the credit for starting it. But ever since this joke came out, all I see, dude, look at Paul Costa when he talked to the MMA fighter, when he talked about the Ryan Garcia Haley fight. You should see what he said. Haney fight. Look it up. Go Paul Costa.
We should say what Dom Luker said. He's this black Twitter personality who does a lot of cool shit. He said that the only way to kind of get rid of this N-word phenomenon is to allow all races to start using it, which is
with the hard R.
Yeah, it's what you've been saying.
What I've been saying.
And Owen, of course.
And when Owen started it.
Who Acosta, you said?
Paul Acosta. Look up his Twitter.
Okay. Ryan Garcia, if you don't know, is the boxer who's been talking a lot about what the elites do to children. He was abused himself, and he's been getting a lot of shit for it. People saying he's crazy, and he was a huge underdog in a fight against this guy called Devin Haney this weekend. He won, and after the fight, he was like, "You guys thought I was crazy. All I want to do is help children." He's a great guy. I'm a big fan of his. That guy's a fighter, right?
Yeah, and he's incredibly shredded. Yeah, and when he came when he came into the UFC, he just looked like a giant meathead. Let's keep going. Oh, there it is.
Why is he saying? He says, "What crazy N-word with the fight."
Right? What?
He says, "I wish so hard to see elbowing somebody." Does he write like that all the time?
I think his original language is Portuguese.
Oh,
he's Brazilian.
I see. Okay, that makes it even funnier, though. Really, I mean, it's so funny. He just writes, "What crazy fight? I wish so hard to see elbowing somebody."
It's so crazy, right? It's so hilarious.
Just looking at
you should have bet the house, pussy.
All right.
Yeah. So I've started a revolution. Owen did.
Yeah.
Owen started.
Now you're paying the cost at events now, the live.
No, dude, it was very weird. It was just a bunch of
even Ari with the Kobe thing says he almost. I think Ari says he never saw one person who confronted him about it in public.
Yeah,
which is crazy for me.
Yeah,
that tells you how wide this thing has gone.
Yeah, it's gone everywhere.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh though. But I had people in the crowd go, "Do your pronoun joke," like laughing. It's like, dude, you don't even know.
Catchphrase now, dude. I'm telling you.
There's worse catchphrases.
Yeah. Yeah, like what? Like the Fonz or something, you know?
Yeah, it's up there with the Fonz, right? Right?
What was the guy? What's the guy from Good Times or whatever? The black guy from what was that show in the 80s?
Dynamite.
Yeah, Dynamite. What's his name?
JJ Walker.
JJ Walker. Yeah.
So that was that night, right? That was the night. It was great.
Friday night. What day did you get there? Thursday or Friday?
I got there Thursday. We did 5 shows. It was great. And then I'm
5
slowly.
shows.
I need it because I'm starting to go into this crowd work shit that I'm going to start doing more of. Because Johnny, I'm starting to get to a place where I'm starting to realize that the contagion has gone really far. The political woke think has gone a lot farther than I thought. And like, I need to get into that like Legion of Skanks ecosystem, that comedy mothership ecosystem where people go for that shit. Because outside of that, it's woke as fuck. And it's not even that. It's not. And the whole point of everything is like, everything I say on stage, I know you all say it to your friends. And I know you all say it at home. And I know you all do that. And I'm like, why are we playing this game? And it's because nobody wants to be seen laughing at this shit.
Totally.
And in that sense, it's the traumatization of cancel culture.
The trauma. What did you say?
Traumatization.
What do you mean? Like it's traumatizing to
Yeah,
them? I got you.
Is that not the word? Is that not a word?
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Traumatization.
Probably a word.
Can you look it up?
Traumatization.
Traumatization.
I'm not trying to call you out or anything.
No,
I
you're
just didn't
calling
know
me
it.
a retard.
No, I didn't understand what you were saying. We've talked about it a million times, but they've also made a sport out of identifying moments to be offended. You know what I mean? It's like a game. Like who can find the first thing to be offended
Well,
about?
it's like that fat white chick said at my show. She's like, he can't say those jokes, which means Latinos can say that joke.
I guess so, yeah.
Like, so it doesn't even mean anything. I was talking to somebody the other day, and by somebody else, I meant myself.
Never gets old.
I was discussing with myself that the only rule that I have seen that is across the board is that Jews and the K word. Jews never call that, even in jest, they never call each other the K word, ever. It's even Ari. When was the last time you saw Ari did it? Have you ever seen that? I'm sure it has happened. But Ari, who will rip on everybody, it's like deep in your DNA. Yeah. Every other rule is completely violated by the people who say they're offended by the rule. Right?
Interesting. Yeah.
Women with our jokes, okay? Assault jokes, okay?
Oh, right.
Blacks with the N word, right? Gays with the F word, right? I mean, it's just the truth. There's no set rule.
You're right. Yeah.
It's crazy to me. So anyways, so I get up in the morning. I got to get to the airport at 7. My flight's at 9:30
Today?
It's a 30 minute drive to the airport. So I get picked up at like 7:30, I think. I get picked up around 7:30.
Too early.
I have to get there early, dude. So I get my Uber. I get in my Uber and the guy goes, Hey man, how much they charging you for this ride? And I had assumed it was the same price as when I came there. So he said, 45. He goes, I'll make a deal with you, dude. You pay me $35 cash and I'll cancel the thing. I go, okay, let's do that.
That's so against their rules.
Right?
That's so funny.
So here's the crazy part, right? So I go, okay, do it. He cancels it, right? I give him 40. I go, keep 5. And then I look down and actually it was $25. So I go, hey, give me 10 back. So now he's getting a 25 plus a $5 tip, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, I should just gave him 25. I should just hand him actually a 20.
Yeah.
And said, hey, keep that because you're pocketing all this money.
Was he cool with you changing the number?
Yeah,
like
he was
that?
cool.
Okay.
So I get to the airport, Johnny, and I got an email from Uber.
Oh, yeah, they'll charge you for...
Uber goes, oh, since this was a cancellation, we're charging you a fee of $25.
Yep. Yeah.
I go, what? So I hit him up, and dude, this guy is so lucky because I almost flamethrowed this motherfucker because he must do this all the time.
Of course he does.
And then
yeah.
he fucks everybody that doesn't realize they can contest this shit, right? So I go, why am I paying a $25 fee when he canceled the drive? I didn't cancel the drive. I was there on time. I didn't even throw him under the bus. I was going to play his game, but if they came back at me, I was going to fucking torch him.
Tell the truth. Yeah.
Right? I go, I didn't cancel it. I was there. I was ready to go. He canceled it. Look who canceled it. I didn't cancel it. He canceled it.
What a scam.
They refunded me because he was going to get money off that if it didn't happen. He just was going to take off.
What a racket, dude.
I'm with him, dude. I think it's the smartest thing you can fucking do. But they're going to catch up to him when he keeps canceling.
Well, he's got like an 80% cancellation rate.
Yeah,
a month from now.
Yeah. They're going to catch up with
Good
him.
idea, though.
Today I was driving. When we're leaving the airport, we go down an exit. I saw a homeless guy who was chunky. Okay, chunky and he's a fat homeless guy.
Or he's usually shredded up. These homeless.
Well, he was panhandling. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So he's chunky and panhandling.
Actually, I saw fat homeless.
So I don't know if he's homeless or just doesn't want to work a day job. Right?
Did he look Hispanic?
No,
Okay,
white guy.
Not the guy. I saw.
White guy. How would I say he drives? He's dressed like he just shopped at JCPenney's. Okay. So he like a nice, like kind of like, hey, I'm going to go watch fish in the fall. Okay. That's how he's dressed.
All right.
Okay.
Nice light jacket on.
Yeah. Not like a kind of like corduroy type jacket. That's like, it's like kind of, listen, I'm Antifa from Oregon. That's the kind of a vibe they get, right? Okay. So he's chunky, he's fat, and he has a sign, Johnny, that says juggling and struggling. And I wanted to take a picture of it, but the traffic was moving, so I couldn't stop to take the picture. But I wanted you to see it. Juggling and struggling.
Now, was he doing
he
a
wasn't
juggling
even
act?
juggling.
No.
He just had the balls next to him, and he wasn't even doing the juggling.
You got to do the juggling if you want to be
what you got to do.
Struggling.
So when should you?
He was really just struggling. If we're being honest,
he's just at this point struggling, and he's trying to use. Now here's the whole thing: dress nice, decent, wasn't overall dirty. Didn't have the I've been in the sun way too long move, right? That right?
Were you thinking recent homeless is what you're thinking? Like new homeless?
I don't even. Johnny, have you ever watched these when the news was great? They would follow these homeless people around.
No, I've never seen that.
You never seen where they follow them around? Like none of them are really homeless. They actually live in a really nice place.
Oh, I've seen a few of those stories. Yeah.
Like they did this in
and they're
Vegas.
actually making money too. Yeah.
Like there was a famous story of an amputee on the boardwalk of Atlantic City, and they discovered that she drove like a Porsche, and she put like 3 kids through fucking college.
That's not real. Really?
They actually followed one where a woman
so
was bent over backwards, and then they followed her all day. And when she was done, she got up. She was like this hot Serbian chick.
No way.
Yeah,
that
dude.
was my welcome to LA moment. Is that first couple of weeks here, I saw this woman that was like hunchbacked like that, completely bent over, old black lady. And she was like peeing on the sidewalk. It was after midnight because I walk at crazy hours.
After midnight.
And I was like, oh my God, she wasn't moving or anything, just sitting there, stood up or, with her back. Like, so I called the police, of course. And they came and they were like, what the fuck? What do you want us to do? I mean, she's like,
Johnny, that reminds me of the time I saw the guy basically ODing on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And he was like trying to tell me, don't call the cops, fucking asshole. He's like, I'm like, bro, you okay? I got called the cops. And you could tell, like, every time I say I was calling the ambulance, he would just get pissed because he didn't want to go to the hospital. He just wanted to ride it out. I'm like, you're ODing, dude, on the sidewalk.
What kind of OD were that's not like a opiate OD.
I don't know, man. Heroin. It was very weird. He was just tense and he couldn't move.
Sounds like a seizure almost.
And they came up, they're like, okay, we got this. Buddy, what's going on? They just want to smack him to wake him up.
They're used to it, aren't they?
It's so crazy, dude.
Dude, those people who do that, what do they call them, paramedics? That's like a rough life, huh?
100%.
What a job.
So, Johnny, I want to tell you something. I recently had I can't make this funny on stage. I've been talking about because it's a real thing that happened to me, and I just can't find the funny in it, even though I find it hilarious. Okay. And it's that my daughter beat me at rock, paper, scissors the first time we played. And it was shocking, and I did not like it, and I felt it kind of changed our dynamic at that moment, okay? So apparently they're playing rock, paper, scissors at school. And she's like, let's play rock, paper, scissors, me and Ghost. I'm like, okay, let's go. Well, she's holding these two little fake kid scissors. So I'm like, oh, this little, she's 4.
Is she hustling you?
She's like, it's 4. I'm like, she knows she's going to go scissors because she has scissors.
Yeah, because she's holding scissors.
So
That's
I'm just gonna devastate her with a rock. I'm gonna hit her with a rock, crush her spirits.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Don't let your kid win. Why would you?
Right? I'm gonna fucking let her know Daddy runs the show here and forever. So we go rock, paper, scissors. Well, I go, I'm too eager, and I just throw down the rock real fast. Boom! Well, she waits just a second, and she goes, paper.
She got your ass.
And Dana and I just stare at each other, and we're like, she's like, she just beat you at rock, paper, scissors. I was like,
that's funny.
Oh man, it was like devastating. Like my dad would not let us beat him until the very last second. And I remember when my brother beat my dad at bowling, it was a big deal. My dad did not take it well.
Was he a good bowler?
Who?
Your
my
dad.
Oh yeah.
I know your brother was really
My
good.
grandpa used to have the coolest fucking trophy, and I lost it. Because my grandfather picked up the 7-10 split, which is the hardest split to pick up. And they made him a trophy.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was the most gorgeous trophy I've ever seen in my life. And I never got it. I always wanted it after he
Was
passed.
it like the pins on the opposite
No,
sides?
dude, it was so cool. This is back when people cared. It was actually a lane with a tin stick man throwing a ball with the 7-10.
Oh, yeah. That's cool, man.
It was so cool, dude.
Dude, my dad and my grandpa, mostly my dad, had an entire room in my grandpa's house and later upstairs in our house of trophies, like from racing, horse racing. Like a room as big as this right here, just filled with trophies. And my mom and my grandma just burned them all. Just threw them into a big pit and burned them without
Burned all
talking
the
to anybody,
trophies?
asking. Just threw them away and burned them.
That pisses me off.
My
so
dad
much.
is like, he's so mad, dude. He
I
was
would
like,
be
"What'd
mad
you do?
too.
Why did
I still have trophies I won in 5th grade, dog. I'm holding
Me
on
too,
to
dude.
all of
I got
them.
my karate trophy. I got all of my
Johnny,
karate
what
trophies.
belt did you get to?
Whatever's after orange belt, I think.
I basically got the brown. I would have gotten it if I didn't have my fucking
Is that
brown.
what's after orange belt? I can't remember. Whatever's after. I got like the 3rd degree of whatever's
Is
after
it
orange
green?
belt. Maybe. Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So Johnny,
I didn't know shit.
Recently, one of my daughter's schools decided to do a fundraiser, and they did it at Chuck E. Cheese. So I'm like, okay, I just want everyone desperately to think I'm a good dad. So I'm like, I'll show up. I donated more. I wrote him a check for a little bit more because I'm just like, I'm the best dad, right? I win Dad of the Year. And so we're there. Johnny, oh, I gotta send you this, dude. So there's a lot going on. It costs $30 because it's a fundraiser. You're paying $30
You're
for
paying $30 to go to Chuck E. Cheese?
No, Johnny, you're paying $30 to support the school, you asshole. Okay? Okay? You piece of shit.
We would love to have your reviews. Please leave your reviews. They really help the show. Whatever app you're in, they actually help us move up in the rankings. If you leave a review and you message me on Twitter, I'm at Johnny Woodard. You can message me on Twitter. I'll send you some kind of behind-the-scenes clip of Sam fucking something up, something like that. I'll give you something funny.
So, Johnny, I don't want you to show this till the end.
The end of the show?
No, to the end of this story.
Okay.
So I show up. You ever been to Chuck E. Cheese, Johnny? It's literally like a shitty casino for degenerate children.
Of course I have, yeah.
It is like, do you know they serve booze at Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, it's insane.
There's no bigger rock bottom than day drinking at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, imagine getting
even the
shit
hardcore
faced.
AA guys are like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's so. I was day drinking at Chuck E. Cheese. Oh, you're really deep.
You're
bro.
in the right place, buddy.
You need spirituality. You need to get out of there.
Oh, I sent it. You know what I did? I'm so stupid. I just airdropped that photo back to you.
Yes. So, anyways, I order a pizza. Well, let me tell you this. That I want to end with the pizza.
Mistake number one.
Okay, so to help the school, you had to do a large pizza with everything, drinks and everything, $30. And then you had to, if you really wanted to help, you buy a card with $30 worth of Chuck E. Cheese tokens.
This sounds like a scam.
Oh, yeah, dude, they got me. And the school gets a big chunk, so I don't mind helping. I really like my daughters, both of their schools.
Sounds like Mr. E. Cheese gets a big chunk, too.
They do get a big chunk, but the school gets a big chunk, too. So we're going around. My daughter's running around with her friends. My daughter's like, I want to play this. I'm playing this. She goes, can I just have the card? I go, no, I'm not just going to give you. This is $30 worth of Chuck E. Cheese coins.
You realize how much money's on this?
Yeah, this is a lot of money. She goes, please. I go, okay, here's the freaking card. Right?
This is, by the way, just want to say, this is a scene that's going to be played out many times in the future. Dad, can I just have the card? Just give me the card.
Yeah.
Just let me go. I would just go to
By the
Beverly
way,
Hills. Give me the
my
card.
daughters are so tall now. It's so crazy.
Oh, I want to see him again. I haven't
It's
seen him in a
so
while.
crazy. So I go, fine. Here's the card. Just get it right back to me. She runs off 5 minutes later. She's like, Daddy, I want to play this game. Can I have the card? I go, what do you mean? I just gave you the card. She goes, no, I don't have a card.
Oh, no.
I go, did you lose the freaking card? I sat her down, looked her right in the fucking eye. I go, do you know how hard Daddy has to work for $30 of Chuck E. Cheese coins? You think that just shits Chuck E. Cheese coins? You think Chuck E. Cheese coins come out of my ass? Dad has to go and talk to fucking conspiracy theorists all day. So he can get you $30 so you can go to a school where they won't convince you you're trans, okay? So shut the fuck up.
Daddy was getting yelled at by black midgets in Dallas for this
I had to
money.
go to Dallas to get yelled at by black leprechauns, okay? So you can go to a school, right? So what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, do you understand money? And then I look up and all these parents are staring at me while they're day drinking at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, judge yourself.
I'm like, you judge yourself, Bud Light, at a Chuck E. Cheese. So the pizza finally comes out. Johnny, will you put my pizza up on the screen?
I will indeed do that. Here we go. There it is.
So here's my pizza, guys. Here is my pizza. And the conspiracy is, for those who are listening, the conspiracy is that Chuck E. Cheese allegedly reuses pizza.
Heard it many times.
Okay? Johnny, would you say some of those crusts look like they don't know each other?
Which one of these is not like the other? Let's see. Definitely that one right there
Yeah,
doesn't fit.
That doesn't fit. Look at that one
That
right there,
one right
Johnny.
there doesn't fit.
Well, next to it. Look at the one next to it. The other one. No, the other way. The other way. Go. That one?
Yeah, if you
Takes
look-
a hard, deep dive.
Yeah. No, totally.
Dude, I'm at Chuck E. Cheese, not 7-Eleven. Look at this
Yeah,
pizza.
really. Yeah.
That's I paid cash for that, not EBT. Unbelievable, bro.
That's funny.
That is funny, Johnny. That should somehow be in the thumbnail so people know what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
I can do that.
All right, Johnny.
I'll do
So we
that.
went way longer than I wanted to. Sorry.
We have a mystery package. You want to do that really quick?
Mystery package.
We have a theme for that.
Mystery package! It's mystery package. It could be anything. It could be a ton of cash or some anal rings. It doesn't matter. It could be anything. It's mystery package. Let's see if it blings.
Here we go. Johnny, can you read? You read. I don't want to do the reading. You made fun of me last time.
That was on cash days. I will say this package took forever to get to us. My mail lady is a shiftless government worker who refuses to take anything to my door that weighs more than like 10 pounds. She'll just put, like, there are options for them why they're not delivering things. And there's no option for, it was too heavy.
Yeah.
Because that
Yeah.
ain't, you're supposed to be able to lift shit as
Yeah.
a postal worker.
Yeah.
But this shiftless bitch just will write in marker heavy on the thing and just put it in there for me to come pick it up. Now, I can't tell you how many times I've walked the half a mile to the post office and just carried whatever it was back that she couldn't carry the 5 feet from the curb to my apartment. Anyway, this got lost and it had your name on it, so I couldn't go pick it up at the post office.
What is this?
Hold on, don't pull it out yet. It had your name on it though, so I couldn't go pick it up at the post office. So I kept having to stick the thing back in there for them to re-deliver it, and finally it was somebody else's shift, and they just put it, delivered it. This is from someone called Isaac Lazell, Oregonite is what it says here.
Yeah.
I think that's his company. It says Oregonite care package for Sam and friends. There's one. These are like cutting boards, I think, maybe. One Dodgers board, one inverted board, one Nubian pyramid, tall and black, one Trinity pyramid, one hexagonal pyramid. Should we do our typical prayer over these objects? Dear Lord, please don't let these things have any curses. If they do, please wash the curses
I just want
away.
to tell you something, Lord. That I love you. I love everything about you, Lord. I love Jesus. Jesus in my heart. Jesus, please take away any dark spirits or energy associated with this wood, okay? And this gift, Lord, please, okay? Johnny, remind me, I want to tell you a story. Okay. So can we look?
Hold on. No, not quite yet. Hold on.
It's about Jesus.
Amen to that, brother.
Amen.
Okay. One traditional pyramid, gold. One Giza pyramid. Sam's board is the Dodger board, and I think by Dodger he means the one on the top there that's in blue and silver.
Yeah, and blue and white.
Blue and white,
which is Dodger colors.
Besides that, gift them to close family, someone who may be struggling emotionally or physically. Also hook up Johnny and XG. Much love, Isaac at Oregonite. Now, here's what Oregonite is. Organite. I've been saying that wrong. I think his company is called Oregonite, but the actual material is called Organite. Okay. Organite is a resin, steel, and crystal mixture that attracts, clears, and transmutes life force energy. He says he began deep diving into the theory of orgone energy, which is basically the same principle to how light is energy, and energy is always stuck either in a state of flow or it is in a state of stagnation.
Everywhere we go.
This is the same idea of positive kinetic energy and negative potential energy.
Respect.
Organite uses the combination of flowing energy in the metals and the stuck energy from the epoxy to essentially act as an energetic engine, increasing the energy of all life that exists inside its energetic field or terrain. I decided to start a business based off of this research, a lot of connections. The boards are both infused with powerful mixtures with large amounts of orgone energy, and the pyramids are a special mixture to help with sleep, EMF protection, and many other things. Anyways, have a great year, and if you would ever like to have me on TFH, well, of course, to explain Organite, he would love that. Let me see. He's got an affiliate program. Thank you, Sam, for all you've done for the community and for others like me who have similar positive intentions and are trying to help this world.
I love you.
Thank you,
I love
Isaac.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
Isaac.
you. Shall we look at these?
Yeah,
All right, let's take a look at this. Dude, we go deep, homeboy.
That's some wood right there.
So where should I put this?
It's good wood, man.
Where do I put the good wood?
We'll find a place for it.
Whoa, this is more fucking coolness.
We go deep, homeboy. It says.
Where are we gonna put this one?
It's beautiful. The wood is beautiful.
I
love wood.
Johnny, you get wood all the time.
You don't know. You have no idea.
I do know.
It's a real problem.
Johnny, but you know what my favorite part of this whole thing is we get this cool blanket for moving, okay? Yeah, the wood's great, but dude, we move all the time.
I love a moving blanket.
I love a moving blanket.
We're gonna fight over that moving blanket.
Dude, let's go, bro.
And then there are little pyramids in there too. Those little.
Johnny, will you put this in XG's area so that he has to put his computer on top of that? So that's it, Johnny. That's my stories.
Wait, you said you had another story about Jesus.
Oh yeah. So I don't listen to anybody's I don't listen to anybody's podcast, so I can't make judgments on the episode. But there was an episode in which Greg Carlwood from Higherside Chat, he's been on the podcast a couple times. Yeah. He apparently had a guest on. Ooh, that is so nice. Cool, right? Johnny, you got to take one home for you.
I got one right here. Okay. I got one right here. All right. I like this darker colored one.
All right.
Thank you, Isaac.
Isaac, thank you very much.
Very generous. It's been a while since he sent these. They were asking about them the other day.
Oh, I'm sorry, Isaac.
It took forever for me to get them from the
Isaac, I'm very sorry, and I owe you big. Ooh, look at this one. Like the power of Grayskull.
Looks like that, doesn't it?
So Greg is doing a podcast. I guess he has a guest on that, I guess along the lines, I can't comment totally on it. But I from based on the Twitter war that was going on or discussion, had something to do with what the Irish Jedi constantly yells at us about.
I see. Okay.
About Jesus.
Yeah.
And so I was watching it, you know, and obviously I have Christ in my life and I love Jesus. But I'm also a podcaster. So I'm kind of like feeling both sides of the discussion. And because Greg is like, I have a lot of Christian guests on too. Occasionally I'll have another side on. And that is, Johnny, the struggle of being a podcast, in particular, a conspiracy podcast, right? Like, because
I don't quite understand the conversation that you're saying Greg had.
I think, Greg, let's look up Higherside Chats here. Can you go to Higherside Chats?
On Twitter?
On Twitter, yes. And I want to bring this up because I half-assed talked about it on Rockfin, but then I didn't get totally into it because keep going down. We'll find it where it is. Read this one.
The Higherside Chats podcast writes, the horror, believe me, Christian guests outnumber Satanist guests by about 1,000 to 1, but give me no credit for that. Also, I don't actually think Dr. Hillman is a Satanist. I think he just likes getting a rise out of gullible Christians. If he is a Satanist, hold on, let me expand it. It's probably because he wants to represent the opposite of what his research concludes about organized religion.
Okay.
And it was someone commenting, hey, my brother, you had a Satanist on your podcast.
Okay.
And I guess he signed off on a YouTube description.
Keep going down,
as
though.
always.
But then there's some
Hail Satan.
comments at the bottom here. So to me, this is of course the battle when you do a podcast like we do, which is obviously I would tell you that Greg Carwood's a little deeper down into the conspiracy world. We make no illusions of it. Tinfoil Hat is a comedy podcast where you get good information. A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. That's where the training wheels, I do think we go a little deeper than maybe I gave us credit for at first, but we do try to make it easily digestible. And then you go on to the deeper podcasts that get a little bit more into the numbers and all that stuff that a lot of these other podcasts are. And there's a balance to it. But this is, and Johnny, we discuss all the time, like, is this going to upset people?
Yeah.
And because here's the whole thing. We're what they call truth podcast. We're about the truth. We want to get the truth out. But the truth of the matter is, and this is something that I've gotten to start to understand in comedy as well, is like you're also entertainment. And so this is a really hard thing.
Yeah, because if it's not, it becomes spoken word. If you're just
but it's
telling
also
the truth.
like if you're constantly challenging your guest, and I'm not saying this is what he's doing right here, but this is the battle when you're deciding what episodes to do.
Right, because first of all, if you're challenging your guests, you're not going to have people want to come on the show.
Well, no,
Who wants to come on and get their ass kicked?
I'm sorry. When you're constantly challenging your listeners,
And then, that's the second thing I was going to say. And then who wants to listen to it if they're being, if their views are
100%, because at the end of the day, this is a business. It is. I hate to say it.
No,
it is a
it is,
business.
yeah.
And,
Now, we would probably be doing some form of this even if it was much less successful, but not like we go hard. I mean, this is there's a lot of work you put in that I put in. So yeah.
And it's just like, there's a lot of people who work on Tinfoil Hat. There's a lot of people that are looking to be able to pay their bills off of Tinfoil Hat. And again, I'll sit there and say to anybody, I don't see a problem with that.
No, me either. Somebody the other day tweeted at me. It was like, I guess it was some concert photo or something. I went and it's like, how does Johnny, what does he do for actual work? And I'm like,
Johnny works a lot.
Here's what I replied though. I said, you know what? Sam's a very generous boss. That's what I said, and that's the truth. He is. Sam has changed my life.
Johnny's girlfriend works hard. They're both hard workers.
Too, but she doesn't pay for shit. So.
Yeah. So that's what it is, right? They love that. So, anyways, Johnny. So to me, I found this very interesting because this is something I struggle with as well. Yeah. Because there are so many options. They could just go, I'm going to go listen
And
to somebody
Sam
else.
thinks about the audience all the time.
That's
believe
all
me.
I think
Yeah.
about, because I've had a time when there is no audience and what that's like. And I just feel that, like, unless you get into that millions and millions of listeners thing, that you have to be very conscious of your listeners.
And you can lose
And
that
again,
too.
I'm not saying, I don't want people to think I'm challenging Greg on what he did, because I think he should do what he wants.
Well, he's also saying that he doesn't do this often. It's
Yeah,
like
I mean, like, that's it once in a while. So you know what a great example for us was when that woman came on and talked about fertility. And, you know, I knew it might not be received the way I had loved it, because I thought it was a really great discussion about the birth rate and like and everything going on with the birth rate, because we're like the depopulation's happening, right? It didn't do huge numbers. That's nothing against the guest who I've had on my other shows as well, and I would have her back. But that's the game I play,
Didn't resonate, right?
right? But you have to, like, it's a game, and it's a hard game to play. And because you're asking people to pay attention to your podcast. So you just have to think, what do they want? It's a hard gig. And see, now people, it seems like most of his fans are behind what he's saying. We get hit up all the time, Johnny. People want to talk about how Christ wasn't real and all that stuff. I'm not interested in it.
No, well, and that's the guiding light of this show. It's what your interest. I mean, you've been pursuing your interest. It's been your journey, really.
And you go,
personified
Sam, why don't you want to talk about that? Because I want to be a better person, and Christ helps me with that. It's just the truth. I wish I could
I
lie
feel
to
like
you.
we're beyond that, honestly. I feel like that's kind of old. That's like back there. You know what I mean? That kind of discussion
Yeah,
is like
yeah.
back there.
Yeah.
We've come past that.
Again, and there are people like when we had Atwill on, what was his name?
Sean
Atwill, the older man. Like, people want me to get into him about how he believes that the Romans created Christ.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right? And I'm just like, I just don't want to do it.
And honestly,
But
that
kudos
guy, like,
for Greg for doing that, because again, that's a dangerous conversation, right?
also, if we're gonna get into that, like that guy who does scholarly work, but there are people who are gonna do that way better than us. That's why I feel like when we have guys on and I'm kind of playing devil's advocate, there are people who can do that way better than me that will do that.
But
you know what I mean?
Johnny, you're important to the show, because
No, I know what you're saying. I appreciate that.
That's
but
why you got. That's why you got to do it.
when they want us to make the whole episode about that, and like with I can't remember the guy's name.
But the
either,
reason I bring this up is
just not-
because I'm just telling you,
Nobody
it's
wants that.
very hard. And like, dude, I'm telling you, Johnny, when I first started doing podcasts, I got so much shit when I went on other people's podcasts because I was conspiracy guy, and the comments weren't good.
Boy, that's changed. Huh?
So it was like very weird, because people wouldn't have me rate back, and they're like, they didn't like them. And now it's like so I was talking to somebody,
It's
and
funny
they
because
were
that's how I found you, was on somebody else's podcast.
so like
Crazy guy.
somebody was telling me that the people who do Rob Kelly's podcast were blown away by the positive comments I got when they did his podcast,
Wow.
and which is cool, which is really cool.
Is that the podcast where he has like a bunch, like his friends all on there?
No,
and stuff? Is that-
that's the regs, and that's with Luis J. Gomez, Dan Schneider, Joe.
he used to have a podcast. I think it was, but
Yeah,
it was
I
him
think-
and like a woman and like.
Yeah, I think it's just down to him now.
Oh, okay.
And he has some of these guys who work on it.
This ties in exactly to what I wanted.
So
to,
we're starting
talk-
the news?
Not really news. This is kind of news. So Tucker Carlson went on Rogan.
Yeah.
It's been getting clipped up. It's been everywhere. I'm about 3/4 of the way.
What
through
do you
it.
think of it?
It shows Tucker does a good job of humanizing himself. He talks about how dumb he was back around what I assume was the time he wrote that Gary Webb thing. Kind of explains more about his father, how his father was like a journalist in San Francisco. Talks about his upbringing. He's like divorced. You know, he was following the Grateful Dead around. It's kind of interesting to hear. But he's evolved. He talks about how different he is. Like even on the thing about the spiritual warfare thing, which he seems to believe very strongly in. He only came to that around 2017, he was saying. And then they come to this part where they talk about Alex Jones. Have you seen any of the clips from this?
No.
And they boy, does Alex Jones get his flowers on Rogan. It's kind of beautiful actually to see, and I'll have to censor some of this for YouTube.
This
but
is what I'm talking
they
about.
pulled no punches.
You know,
And
we'll get into this. Here we go.
Okay.
Once again, what do you think is going? But am I wrong to still hold out hope that aliens are real? Because I tell you, as the two guilty pleasures that I still cling to is Bigfoot and aliens. Those are two. Bigfoot, not so much. I wish it was real, but I just don't. Are you ready? Yes. Bigfoot's real? No. Come on, Daddy. No. Are you ready? Yes. I'm gonna give you the biggest lot. Joe, there are aliens in this room right now. For real? Yeah, you're not of this world, bro. Me? You're the alien. Oh, wow, I didn't know. Well, here's what the elite believe, and let me be very clear because the media will take this out of context. I only go with what I can prove. Oh, thank you. And people can't even handle that. There's armies. We're fighting a pedophile conspiracy, but beyond that, it's a vampire conspiracy in that they are interdimensionally sucking the essence of our youth. Right. And they believe they're possessed by an off-world entity. They do? Yeah, and Joe, I've been on air 22 years. I don't get into aliens, metaphysical, religion, any of that. I've studied the elite, and I've also communicated with a lot of the top people. And if you want to know, I will actually break down right now the best knowledge right now on what's happening on the planet. What's happening? The elite are all about transcendence and living forever and the secrets of the universe, and they want to know all this. Some are good, some are bad, some are a mix. But the good ones don't ever want to organize. The bad ones didn't want to organize because they lust after power. Powerful consciousnesses don't want to dominate other people. They want to empower them, so they don't tend to get together until things are really late in the game. Then they come together. Evil's always defeated because good is so much stronger. And we're on this planet, and Einstein's physics showed it, Max Planck's physics showed it, all. There's at least 12 dimensions. And now that's why all the top scientists and billionaires are coming out saying it's a false hologram. It is artificial. The computers are scanning it and finding tension points where it's artificially projected and gravity's bleeding in to this universe. That's what they call dark matter. So we're like a thought or a dream that's a wisp in some computer program, some God's mind, whatever. They're proving it all. It's all coming out. Now, there's like this sub-transmission zone below the third dimension that's just turned over to the most horrible things is what it resonates to. And it's trying to get up into the third dimension that's just a basic level consciousness to launch into the next levels.
Bro!
And our species is already way up at the fifth, sixth dimension, consciously, our best people. But there's this big war trying to, like, basically destroy humanity because humanity has free will, and there's a decision to which level we want to go to. We have free will, so evil's allowed to come and contend, not just good. And the elites themselves believe they're human technology to try to take our best minds and build some type of breakaway civilization where they're going to merge with machines, transcend, and break away from the failed species that is man, which is kind of like a false transmission because they're thinking what they are is ugly and bad, projecting it onto themselves instead of believing, no, it's a human test about building us up. And so Google was set up 18, 19 years ago. I knew about this before it was declassified. I'm just saying I have good sources. That they wanted to build a giant artificial system. And Google believes that the first artificial intelligence will be a supercomputer based on the neuron activities of the hive mind of humanity with billions of people wired into it with the Internet of Things. And so all of our thoughts go into it, and we're actually building a computer that has real neurons in real time that's also psychically connected to us, that are organic creatures, so that they will have current prediction powers, future prediction powers, a true crystal ball. But the big secret is, once you have a crystal ball and know the future, you can add stimuli beforehand and make decisions that control the future. And so then it's the end of consciousness and free will for individuals, as we know, and a true 2.0 in a very bad way, hive mind consciousness with an AI jacked into everyone, knowing our hopes and dreams, delivering it to us, not in some PKD wirehead system where we plug in and give up on consciousness because of unlimited pleasure, but because we were already wired in and absorbed before we knew it by giving over our consciousness to the system by our daily decisions that it was able to manipulate and control into a larger system. There's now a human counterstrike taking place to shut this off before it gets fully into place and to block these systems and to try to have an actual debate about where humanity goes and cut off the pedophiles and psychic vampires that are control of this AI system before humanity's destroyed. AI?
Bro!
How'd the pedophile...
He's talking about AI.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's
I
that
didn't
was 7
understand
years
about
ago.
that was 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
Yeah, okay. So
No, 7 years ago, no one was thinking AI was going to take over civilization.
So you can see why the FBI decided to destroy him, which it did. The people in, I mean, it's just like what has happened to Alex Jones is proof that at least some of what he's saying is true. Because who is Alex Jones a threat to?
Yeah, but dude, even that's a little dismissive of what he's saying.
Well, no, but
dude.
that's why this doesn't have. He goes on to talk about before it was even thought about by people in Washington D.C. Alex Jones was saying, and you remember, you've seen the footage of him talking about how there's going to be an attack on the trade centers and they're going to blame it on Osama bin Laden. And Tucker Carlson goes and says he got that, he channeled that from another dimension, is what Tucker Carlson says. And he says Alex Jones is a prophet. He says we used to call these guys prophets. That's what he goes on to call Alex Jones as a prophet, basically, which is, if you told me the guy on Crossfire who was sitting there debating Paul Begala throughout the 90s was going to...
Well, it's also, dude, the guy who really called it was Bill Cooper. Bill Cooper called it, and that's why they killed him.
Yeah.
But Alex
anyway,
Jones,
yeah. I'm glad to see him getting his flowers.
Yeah, but Johnny, I'm going to ask you this again. When everybody shits on everybody that makes it,
what do you mean by that?
When everybody is controlled opposition, you know, it just does no good, and it becomes.
You mean when you accuse everybody?
Yeah,
yeah, I guess.
Like, you know, again, it goes back to Joe Rogan. I mean, I obviously am not in Joe Rogan's inner circle. It's a very small group of guys.
Yeah.
But I'm in a circle. You know, I don't live in Austin, and I have really bad social anxiety, so I don't hang out with anybody. But Joe has always been really kind to me. And so I've said this 1,000 times. I've watched this dude ascend. And I'm just telling you, it's like at the center of the Joe Rogan experience is a human being. And that human being has some strengths. And in Rogan's case, a lot of strengths and some weaknesses. And nobody's perfect all the time at calling everything.
And that's what they say about Jones. You know, Rogan talks about he's dealing with, you know, different mental issues, you know, and like alcohol and stuff. So
yeah, well, he's partying, and you know, like who knows where
he goes
is.
hard is what it sounds like. He like goes.
He goes
hard.
all the time, and then he's having problems with his ex, who isn't having that problem.
But what they just played is just. I mean, that's
my
7
whole
years
thing.
ago.
But that's
Nobody
my whole
was
thing.
talking about
Instead of calling everybody else, like the thing that upsets me the most in comedy is when people try to act like they're the most real conspiracy theorists. They're the most real, and everybody else is
test, right?
Well, everybody else they keep it the most real, and everybody else is controlled op or is afraid. And it's like, you know, so I'm gonna be honest with you. So I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking about people in Hollywood. And, you know, me and this guy are good friends.
Stop bragging.
We don't agree with everything, on everything. We're very opposed when it comes to Israel, okay? And I'm 99% sure that this other comic is not text me back because of my Israel stance.
Of course, yeah.
Okay?
That's so funny.
But this guy still talks to me, and because we agree on almost everything else. Okay. At this point, I'm teeing off pretty bad, so I'm probably gonna lose a lot of people.
Yeah, you've gone hard on that issue.
Well, I'm sorry, dude. I keep a different story, but like, why can't they get a Federal Reserve?
Yeah.
Why can't they print their own money? Why do we have to print our money and devalue our dollar? Yeah.
Enough people believe in this particular Ponzi scheme that it is continuing.
So anyways, so we were having a big discussion. I go, I just don't know why these guys are all being quiet and they're not being honest and saying what they really think. He
what
goes,
guys? You mean comedians?
Yeah, all these comics. And they go because they have something to lose. And he's totally right. It's very easy when you have nothing to lose to be the most honest guy in the room. And you know, I have made my bones being indie as fuck, but I do have things to lose, like not being able to take care of my daughters, not being able to have guys who've been working on the show forever to be able to take care of them and have them be able to pay their bills. Okay. Those are things to lose. I don't have any business, let's say, in terms of like acting or writing or pitching or anything like that. But I do have something to lose, which is taking care of people who've been with me since the beginning and not leaving anybody behind. Okay? And that's what I have to lose. So when I say that's when you have nothing to lose, that's what I have to lose. Okay?
Yeah, and at least, I mean, we are blessed in this way that at least the people, you know, that have come to like this show are here because they want to hear the truth. You know what I mean? There are other people who that's not what they're, the people who follow them, fans, whatever you want to call them, that's not what they're there for, you know? So if they start spitting truth, then they're going to lose. At least you can, like, you know,
well, that's the blessing of our group. I can say anything I want.
They're good people.
You know?
But not everybody has that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my whole thing, dude. So if you ever wonder what's going on, we are constantly trying to fine tune the show.
Yeah.
Right? We're constantly trying to fine tune the show. All right.
And
so
thinking about ads and everything. This plays right into what you were talking about Israel. Nobody more than Michael Rappaport embodies the strange bedfellows aspect of this, because he is just fully off it on this Israel issue. Watch this. This is so, he's just losing it.
You know what's gonna be great? When Dick Stain, Donald Trump gets elected, and I ain't saying I'm voting for him.
You are saying, you've said it.
But when he does win, and he's going to win, the screaming and yelling that you fucking pussy ass, blowjob, miserable motherfuckers on college campuses are doing now.
Unbelievable.
Listen to what he
Screaming
says.
that you're doing at Jews about free Palestine. The screaming that you're doing at Zionists is going to be nothing compared to the screaming you're going to be doing come November when Dick Stain Donald Trump wins presidency. Because of you. Because of you. And historically, Google me. You know how I feel about Dick Stain Donald Trump. But it'll be worth the screaming, the crying, and the yelling. I can't wait to see those fucking protests come November when Dick Stain Donald Trump wins because of you fucking little blowjobs.
He just laughs like a man. But this is somebody who sold out all of their beliefs for this one issue and gone to, you know,
it's just
the other
absolutely
side.
hilarious that he calls him Dick Stain when we all know that Trump is the biggest Zionist and has gone over backwards to the point that he's on Israeli money. You know what I'm saying?
That's what this issue is, though, man.
It's absolutely
twists.
hilarious. So I just want to say something. I'm not mad at any Jewish people that are pro-Israel. I just don't get mad at them because it's just drilled into them as children.
Yeah,
you know,
they all, many of them know people in Israel
Yeah.
on the settlements.
I mean, you remember that Jewish guy we had on the show, David Kata or whatever his name was?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, he's commented on a couple of my posts.
Oh, really?
And I don't hate him. I hope he doesn't hate me. He may not like me. He's wrong on every issue. It's so funny because they'll ask a question or make a statement, and then there's a conga line lighting him up. So, and I like him, and I don't hate any Jews. And there's a lot of people. Again, my issue is in Judaism, but to see people turn their back on their morals and their political takes because it's their group doing all the nasty shit.
That's it.
That it just 100% lets you know that nobody has any backbone anymore.
It's hypocrisy.
Right? It's so hypocritical. It's like to all the motherfuckers who are wearing BLM shit because of what happened to George Floyd, and then you're okay with what's happening right now in Gaza, you're sad and pathetic. And I know you hate me. I know you don't like that I'm very vocal. I'm one of the very few people in this town, me, Eddie Pepitone, Paula, who else is this? There's only a handful of us, dude. Jimmy Dore, who's always on the outside, like me. Jimmy Dore is just a more successful version of me because he just does it all the time. He's like really good at what he does. And again,
Are you talking about people who are right on this issue on Palestine?
Yeah. I mean, just to sit there and like when you have Jared Kushner talking about beachfront property, and you have Netanyahu giving away oil rights. He was giving away oil rights in Syria. That wasn't even Israel's to give away. These are facts.
That guy is a scumbag.
And when you see Netanyahu say Israeli law is based off Talmud law, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Okay? Just shut up. Just own your shit. Okay?
You want to do the news?
You know, it's like being a Dodger fan, right? Right? You're being a Dodger fan is going, yeah, we're buying everybody. I hate it. It hasn't equaled any wins. I mean, we're not doing well, but either you're in or you're out. This is why I left the Yankees, by the way, is because they were buying up everybody.
Leave the Dodgers now.
I don't know, man. It's just like, I don't care. Like,
what about the Athletics? They're going to Vegas? Perfect.
No. I mean, it's Dodgers or I'm out. A baseball.
Vegas, come on.
Well, if I was lived in Oakland, why wouldn't you just move to Vegas and now both your teams are there?
That's a good point.
Right?
I've really thought about that. If you're a big enough fan,
Yeah,
I
just
bet
move
some
to
people
Vegas.
did. Yeah.
You're like, oh, my team's here now.
Also, Oakland just happens to be falling apart.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
why not?
and just like the greatest example of democratic. I mean, you could say whatever you want. We got Mike Johnson right now, really, and it's almost like a blessing destroying the Republican brand. Yeah. Okay.
Well, and they have this thing now where you can, when you're the Republican Speaker of the House, you can just, if you do one fuck up, you're out. You know what I mean? So, he can't.
But that will never happen on the other side because they have to toe the line.
Yeah,
no matter how, like Joe Biden is like Joe Biden. Joe Biden has the balls to complain about WNBA pay, while at the same time saying that they should recognize that trans should have to be able to play in women's sports.
He's scrambling for votes now. That's all he's
But
doing.
how does that get you the vote?
He doesn't, dude. They're all missing. They don't know the nature of reality. They're lost. That whole party is.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. And then the female coach of the South Carolina Gamecocks, which is hilarious because they're all lesbians, right? And they're called cocks. That's the funniest thing ever, right? She's like, if you think you're a woman, you should be able to play in the W. And I was talking about this on stage the other day, Johnny. Oh, did we? Yeah, we talked about this on Punch Drunk. But it's like Porter should become a trans who got busted. By the way, how about that thing about Michael Porter Jr.'s family?
Yeah, you sent that. Yeah,
just hard week, bro.
Yeah.
Hard week.
One of his brothers got banned from the NBA.
For
Other
life.
Brothers going to jail for 6 years or something?
6 years. And I guarantee
DUI, killing somebody.
not to be disrespectful to anybody, but man, he's lucky that happened in Colorado where his brother just won a championship. I'm not even kidding, dude. Like, he's really lucky. I guarantee you, if this happened anywhere else and his brother didn't play for the home team, he would have gotten a lot.
Well, I sent you. I mean, there are people doing more time for weed more than 6 years, and he killed somebody in a car.
It's crazy to me, right? Go on. Okay.
You want to do this? Now, you can put what credence you want into this, but it's been going around, and people have said that they've heard this who would know. And this has pissed Trump off to no end, apparently. Have you heard that Donald Trump
love this.
Is, and let's see, Ben Meiselas, co-founder of Midas Touch, shitty organization, and owner of LA Magazine, reported today that Donald Trump is actually farting in the courtroom, and it's very stinky around him. And he's also taking these little naps and farting. Like you say, he just constantly. Trump's lawyers are repulsed by the scent and the smell, he said, noting that these observations are from credible sources in the courtroom.
Does anyone
Returning to the court proceedings as well, Maggie Haberman reports that Donald Trump continued to fall asleep during the proceedings as well. And, you know, what I'm hearing from my sources as well that, you know, and I'm hearing from credible sources.
What does that mean?
Who know what's going on in the courtroom.
To you and the lady pictured in that tweet.
Is that, take it for what it's worth, but that Donald Trump is actually farting in the courtroom, and that
I mean, take it for. I mean, he basically did every disclaimer before saying it, so he can legally weasel his way out.
I gotta say though, if I heard this about Biden from equally credible sources, I would be interested and probably believe it. So I have no reason not. The guy's 77. He should be sitting around farting in a lazy boy. I mean, that's what he should be doing.
Who isn't farting? We're all farting.
Yeah, that's a good point, isn't it?
Everybody farts.
Free to fart.
The guy's an old grandpa. He farts. They all fart.
And then look who responded that he heard the same thing. Good old George Conway, if you remember him. You know, one of the greatest political hucksters of all time. He says, I heard this too. I'm not kidding. The court's going to have to issue more than a gag order here. So that's going around. And apparently,
broken their skulls.
Well, the reports are that Trump is pissed about this. Like, he hates this kind of shit. He's not.
Well, that's why they're saying it. Because he's feeding the baby birds. He's feeding the baby birds.
He shouldn't do that, should he?
Don't feed the baby birds.
All right, so that was funny. I
mean, I saw that. I'm like, dude, this is how low the left has gotten that they're talking about bodily functions. I mean,
it's funny. Farts are funny.
They're the ones who are like, you gotta respect pronouns and my genders, but they're getting mad at something everyone does, which is rip farts all day.
And you know Trump's farting all because all he eats is McDonald's and Taco Bell, dude. The guy's gonna be ripping gassers in the courtroom. What
all the time. And guess what? You're getting paid a lot to fucking deal with that gas mask shit.
So did you hear that? The chickens have come home to roost for Karen Bass. Her residence was broken into while she was home this week. Did you hear about this?
Oh, shit.
Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass received a nasty surprise this morning because LAPD says an individual broke into her residence while she was there. The Los Angeles Police Department announced the news late Sunday afternoon, posting to X, a person broke into the Getty House, the official residence of the mayor, at around 6:40 a.m. on Sunday. Isn't that funny? Karen
Dude, that's
Bass
so creepy that you stay in the Getty's house.
Yeah.
That's so creepy,
that's
bro.
LA, dude.
That's so creepy, dude. And let me tell you, good.
Nobody was injured. Suspect was taken into custody.
Yeah, I mean, dude, welcome, bro.
Yeah, I mean, she should be dealing with it.
Welcome. I hope you got guns, bitch. I hope you got guns.
She's got security.
Yeah, but it's just like crazy to me. Like, you see all these rich people. Like, dude, I'm watching all these squatter movies, videos about people kicking out squatters. And
I keep hearing about
this.
They
are squatters are the worst lawyers ever. They just talk and they just try to get you tired. They just talk in circles.
Yeah,
and then eventually they just get handcuffed. But all they try to do is act like they don't have to follow the law.
Well, you know what it reminds me of, and I hate to say this because some of these people are good friends of ours, but it reminds me of these people who are like, I don't have to pay my taxes, because I'm a corporation in Washington, D.C. or whatever, you know what I mean?
Bro, I just pay my taxes, dude.
Just pay your taxes.
I hate doing it. I think it's theft. I think it's the biggest bunch of bullshit.
It is theft. Taxation is theft.
It's completely made up bullshit, but you got to pay it or else they come after you.
So have you heard at all about this controversy at NPR?
Yeah.
This is fantastic. So this guy who was one of the senior business editors at NPR, without telling NPR, wrote an editorial in this magazine talking about why NPR is failing and why it has lost all of the right-wing listenership. Like, no people who are right-wing listen to NPR anymore.
Right.
And he goes through the list of things, and it's like, hey, we don't cover issues from the right. He says that in D.C., I think there are like 73 people that work there for NPR, 0 registered Republicans, 73 registered Democrats. They don't have one Republican on the staff in D.C.
Does that surprise you at all?
No, of course not. But the funny thing is the reaction to it, and he mentions too their efforts to make the boardroom more diverse. It's like 50% minority now.
Who gives a fuck? I mean, it's just like unbelievable to me. Like, hey, dude, there's no conservatives. Hey, but we have diversity. You're like, that doesn't answer my question.
Well, and it's funny. He doesn't mention race at all, but everybody critiquing him has said that, oh, well, what do you mean by diversity? He meant diversity of thought. But they have all come back to him with the race attack.
They just can't do it. That's when you have nothing to talk about. That's all you do is attack.
Well, and then he got now they have a new new CEO.
Yeah, this chick.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You could see her lizard gills just breathing.
And she had some comments about him, some really nasty things to say about him.
She said crazy shit.
And then then they were been digging into her tweets. About Trump and stuff. And boy, did she say something. I mean, she's called him racist. Like, hold on, I'll see if I can find them. Hold on. Okay, those posts include a 2020 tweet that called Trump racist and another that appeared to minimize rioting. So she was like, rioting, no big deal during the social justice protests that year. And then she just took over at NPR and said a bunch of shit about this guy. And so he's resigned today after this.
Yeah, but didn't you hear what she said about the First Amendment? That's the scariest one of all.
Well, here's what she says. In America, everyone is entitled to free speech as a private citizen. What matters is NPR's work and my commitment as its CEO, public service, editorial independence, and the mission to serve all of the American public. NPR is independent, beholden to no party, and without commercial interests, is what she says.
And here's the thing, dude. She literally said one of the biggest problems they have. Basically, the quote is, I think, along the lines of, that the biggest issue in battling misinformation is the First Amendment.
Just ridiculous.
Right? I mean, imagine, that's my whole thing with these LA comics, man. It's like you guys keep selling yourself out because you just want to conform.
Yeah, no, totally. And NPR, I mean, this is why NPR is failing, too.
Dude,
and
I guarantee you this, Johnny, when they look back on the comedy from years, well, let's say a decade or two from now, when they look back at the comedy being done on all these major platforms, there's going to be, I guarantee you, very little heroes. There's going to be like no Carlins. I mean, none.
No.
Like none.
Yeah. No,
Like
totally
if
right.
you see what's coming out, it's such dog shit because they're conforming so badly to what Netflix wants that they're producing shit.
No, you're totally right. One of the guys from NPR tweeted that it was he was suspecting that their listenership has changed because so many people have left the Republican Party. But that's, if you look at the numbers, actually there are way more, the ratio of Republicans to Democrats is tighter than it's ever been. Yeah, there's way more, like it's 48% Democrat, 47% Republican registered right now. And people, the way they say they're leaning is actually more Republican
100%.
than Democrat right now.
Because
so
the
he's
left
wrong.
is...
He's just wrong. But this is a guy who works there, another editor who is like just pulling out of his ass that was why it was.
Dude, I don't think people are becoming more liberal anymore. I think they're becoming more conservative because the left has to kowtow to these extremist crazy people. And you have to conform to them or else you don't get a promotion. And that's what I'm saying about comedy. That's what I'm saying about comedy.
No, yeah, comedy is always a reflection of society, right? Did you see this video? Okay, so check this out. Alex Stein shared this. This is, I guess,
bro,
I don't know
this
who's
is
making
the craziest commercial I've ever seen in my life.
Gavin Newsom tweeted this out. He writes, Alabama's abortion ban has no exceptions for
Are you surprised?
Now Republicans are trying to criminalize young women's travel
and
to
he's
receive
lying
abortion
about
care.
that.
We cannot let them get away with this. And this is the TV ad they're putting out. This is insanity. It's comical. It really is.
We're almost there. You're going to make it.
This, by the way, can I just say, this was the vibe of that movie, Civil War. This right here was the
Johnny,
vibe of Civil War.
They have to emotionally... dude, the left is all based off emotions.
Yeah.
None of it is facts driven.
This was
whole
like
thing that happened to me is all
over 2
emotional.
hours.
emotional responses, no logical thinking, and this is what they've done.
Completely. Yeah. This is so stupid.
Trump Republicans want to criminalize young Alabama women who travel for reproductive care.
Miss, I'm going to need you to step out of the vehicle.
In what world does this
Take a pregnancy
happen?
test.
Stop them by taking action at righttotravel.org.
Again,
Campaign
if you didn't
for
hear,
Democracy
it's okay. So we should describe what's happening. It's these women, these two young women, are just in terror driving. I mean, just the most distressed faces, like you're gonna make it. And then this guy, the most redneck accent you've ever heard, goes, "Miss, I'm gonna need you to take a pregnancy test." And taps. He's already got it out of the wrapper, a pregnancy test, a piss-on pregnancy test, and taps it on the car
Dude,
door.
that might be.
So
dude,
stupid,
is
dude.
that the dumbest thing you've ever heard in your life?
Think about how dumb you'd have to be influenced by this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it gives people who are born into comfort purpose. And now it's to fight this.
It's
right?
masturbatory.
This
yeah.
woman's driving like she has that fucking rebellion from that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. What was it? Where like it would come out of the stomach.
Total Recall.
Yeah,
right,
Total Recall. She acts like she's driving and it's gonna come out at any second. That's how she has to get there. I mean,
Why is she the one driving? First of all, why not let the other girl drive?
This
Doesn't
is
make
the
any
craziest
sense.
part of why I'm no longer. I'm a conservative liberal. I know it sounds crazy, common sense liberal, and why the far left is fully dumb. Okay,
They've gone full R. Yeah,
is that the state that they're freaking out about is Arizona? It's democratic. It is a democratic freaking government. Whether you believe the vote or not, the people in power are Democrats. The reason is it called codified, Johnny? Is that the word?
that means to make law. Yeah.
Do you know why they've never codified women's right to choose? For every election, they could pull this shit.
Yeah, and they're starting to do
That's
it
the
now,
reason
huh?
they never codified it.
Yeah. This is Alabama, though, is what they're talking about. He's talking about the abortion ban, but
Yeah, but the
But
big
now
one they're freaking
Republic-
out about is in Arizona.
Well,
This
you're
is
talking about the rules about travel, right? Yeah.
It's so.
But
dumb.
let's just break this down one more time, because if you really look at this, it makes no. Why is the pregnant girl who's about to burst
driving?
That doesn't make any
Their
sense.
friend's just not very nice.
And look, they're almost to the state line.
Almost there. We're gonna make it.
Like, it's so crazy, dude. Like, what possible suspicion could this cop have?
I mean,
to be chasing her down.
Well,
Like,
she's with an ethnic, which
Yeah,
is
oh,
Asian in
yeah.
Alabama. That
Yeah,
might mean
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Are you traveling with an ethnic?
maybe
right
that's
now?
why she's not driving. Actually,
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's
I mean,
just.
it's
but
so
this is
stupid.
it. It's just they're emotional. They have nothing. Everything is a windmill.
I mean, it's embarrassing, dude. And I hate that we're deep on the culture war thing right now, but I wanted to hit this. So, J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter books, which not my thing, but have you seen this Cass report? It's going around about how woefully inadequate these trans services are for like kids and just misguided. I mean, it's a study of
right
what the effects of it on children down the road, like
Of
the
course,
most that we have now. And it was just damning. To
Why
this
don't
whole
you
program.
just take that money and set it on fire? Because everyone knows the results of that. And it's like, again, this is what I'm talking about.
And this woman is like a renowned pediatrician. She's well known in the industry. She up to now has only been respected for wanting the best for children, and now she can't even travel on public transit because of in England. I told you, dude. England is like beyond. Like they've gone over because of this.
I have
And,
to watch my mouth.
What J.K. Rowling writes, follow the money, maybe a conspiracy theorist trope. And I hate the Twitter cliche, let that sink in. But when a respected pediatrician is advised not to travel by bus, and when lobby groups fall over themselves to discredit a meticulous medical review, both might seem to apply. And she's completely right.
100%.
Yeah.
The inclusion love party is the first one to threaten violence.
Always.
Yeah. Even
Always.
with leprechauns.
And it's what Alex Jones was talking about. It's because the weak people, they love grouping together in these groups to make a fist. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Well, it's because for the first time in the history of time, betas can go after alphas because they come together. And most of the good people just want to live their life. And it's like, I've thought about this. The 2 times where riots came to an end quickly was when the adults showed up and shut it down. It wasn't law enforcement. It was someone with a gun said, enough.
Yeah.
The rooftop Koreans.
God bless them.
And then the kid in Kenosha. And that's when everything got shut down. When the adults show up.
The 388-page report that indicated no good evidence for the medical push to transition children's gender, noting that the push had been built on shaky foundations. That's also
It's all a lie. All of it, Johnny. It's all based on lies. And this is demonic.
Money, too. They're making money off this, man.
It's demonic, dude.
It's dark.
It's demonic, gross stuff. These are scumbag people.
If you want to read it, it's called the Cass Report. The Cass Report. There are complaints that, lighter fare here now, that the new track and field uniform for the Olympics, Nike's track and field uniform, what word would you say ladies who think it's a little too revealing might be using to describe it? Can you guess?
Whorish?
Patriarchal is what they're calling the...
These chicks, it's just unbelievable.
They're talking about how they're going to have to make sure they get Brazilians. So it is pretty tight on the Vaj here, I will say. I mean, that's a tight cut to the...
Okay, maybe they're right on this one. That is very weird.
It is close,
Now, in
right?
Europe, we see that all the time, right?
Oh,
you
yeah,
always
yeah.
watch these European chicks. It's like right there, you can almost see the bush.
But that's really, I mean, then a lot of the women are like, dude, my shit's gonna be hanging out. You know, like I got meat curtains here. You know, I don't.
I got meat curtains. Yeah, dude, let it go, bro. Ha, ha.
And I mean, really,
Johnny,
if
and that's why
you can't have bush though and have that. Like
Johnny,
nobody,
how many of them have bush now? They all shave it down. But
I'm
Johnny,
saying you couldn't if you wanted to wear that.
This is why I'm telling you the future of female sports is sponsorship by OnlyFans.
Remember in the early, or not the early days, but in the 90s in boxing, that goldenpalace.com would get boxers like those temporary tattoos on their backs. That's what we need, just like OF on the ass cheek.
I'm telling you, dude.
O on one ass cheek, F on the other, perhaps.
Yeah, it's so crazy to me. Johnny, I wish I would saw that before I commented. That is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty close.
I would love to know why they decide to go so thin on the ramp.
So close to the push.
Yeah.
Also, can we just give the guys a little sag in the crotch area?
Yeah, I mean that looks like a chick more than the other guy.
Like,
this
did you see
looks
Bert
like a
Kreischer?
guy. What?
Did you see Bert Kreischer, that photo he posted this week of him in a banana hammock, and you can just see his whole dick out there. He clearly fluffed it up, but a lot of comments on that post. It was, and that's exactly what we're gonna. It's just gonna be dicks flopping around and like.
How about that guy
pussies
that
popping
ran
up.
and his dick fell out the combine?
No, I didn't see that. Are you serious?
Yeah, his dong just hung.
I didn't see that. That's so funny. That's fucking
Yeah,
weird.
that's definitely weird. And
No.
you got to go, why did they? Like, that has to be a guy that came up with that, right? There's
Well, that's
no way
what they
a
said. It's
woman's like,
patriarchal. I mean, that's
a point for the females. I give them points on that because that just looks weird.
it does look weird, doesn't it? Yeah, it's a little too close. I mean, I wouldn't want anybody.
And how do you get it just to stick up there? It's very weird to me.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
So I'm constantly at war, or not constantly, but every year around this time at war with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. These are the latest inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Are you ready for this, Sam? Mary J. Blige, Cher, the Dave Matthews Band, Foreigner. Okay, they're a rock band. Thank you. Peter Frampton, he's a rock band. Kool and the Gang, they're good. I'll let them in. You know what I mean? Not rock, but Kool and-
Johnny, I think you're on the problem with the word rock.
Ozzy Osbourne, all about it. Put him in. Yeah, he's already in with his band. And then A Tribe Called Quest. I'm fine with that even. But dude, Cher and Mary J. Blige. and the
Cher's
Rock and
been
Roll
around
Hall of
for a
Fame.
while, bro. I mean, I'm not.
Does she have a song with a fucking guitar in it that you can think of? I can't think of one.
I mean, I guarantee you, dude. All of her old stuff with Sonny and Cher.
I got you, babe. Bum, 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 bum. I got you,
At
babe.
that time, it was huge, dude. Now there's some
It's not
weird
rock and
shit
roll,
with
though. It's
Sonny
pop
and her
music.
when he started dating her when she was too young.
Oh yeah, she
It's
was
a
very
real
young.
Jeff Ross situation right there, right? But
They sold out. They became the Music Hall of Fame.
I think they should be the Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, that's because they ran out of rock and roll acts. Warren Zevon's still not in there. Give me a break. I talked about Late Night with the Devil. Did you know that the box office for the Sunday, this is real. I didn't do this last week because I thought it was fake. This is real. The box office for Sunday for Late Night with the Devil was $666,666. That's real. That was reported by Variety. And other people have tried who were annoyed by that, like that's clearly fake, went and investigated it. And on the Lord's Day, that movie did 666,666.
And did anyone buy a ticket?
What do you mean?
You're saying
it did that much money.
Oh, okay.
The box office was 666,000, and then it's done like more than 10 million.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Johnny. I don't believe any of those numbers. Just like I don't believe 14 million people watched a women's basketball game.
Yeah, I don't.
You're like, just convince me how you got those numbers. Where'd you get those numbers from?
I'm with you. Yeah.
You just make up numbers to show. Oh my God, everybody loves it. You're like, no, not everybody loves it.
Pace Magazine had to.
You know who likes that? Guys who sit down peeing. That's who enjoys women's basketball.
Pace Magazine did their review of Taylor Swift's new album, and they had to put it out without a byline because the last time they put out a negative review for Taylor Swift, like people threatened their life, tried to confine them, kill them. Taylor Swift has the most aggressive fans on the planet, so they had to put it out without a byline.
Dude, my friend told me that she knows women that fucking called in sick to work to listen to Taylor Swift's new album.
What is that?
I don't get it.
Me either.
I'm not against it. I don't hate it. I don't hate any. I just.
No, but that's weird.
But it just gets to like I really hate when we go, oh, people are getting dumber. But it just seems like
they are. No, they are. They are.
I mean, like, here's the whole thing, Johnny. Like back in the day, there were corporate acts, but people also like provocative stuff. Now there's nothing provocative. Everything is status quo bullshit.
No, there's no. Can you think of anything that's kind of like Judas Priest or something like? I mean, there's nothing like that. You know, that's like at the edge. You know, like pushing the boundaries. I'm not saying I'm not saying they would do Judas Priest now, but whatever the equivalent of that would be.
Is Sam Smith in that thing?
No,
like a
that's the least risky thing. Doing that whole gay thing.
Satanic?
No, dude. No, you'd have to be like Henry Rollins or something to be considered like edgy.
And dude, you could try to rail against it, which is, I'm going to be honest with you, Johnny, is what I'm discovering right now. You can rail against it, but like there's less and less people that want to go and enjoy it because they just don't want to be seen laughing at that shit. Yeah. It's social contagion, dude. It is a really big issue right now.
It's a real thing. Yeah.
And I don't know how you put the only way it goes back is complete and utter collapse of a shock to the system so strong that people wake up.
Well, let's think about the last 30 years of music. All right, so grunge, then we had like what would you say, like alt rock. Then it was the girl and the boy bands, early 2000s, right? And then I mean it's been downhill from there, dude. Like it's not getting better. It's gotten steadily worse. At least the girl and the boy bands had like melodies.
I also believe, Johnny, is it's getting harder and harder to blow up on the internet unless you have a real in, right?
Yeah. Well, studios can't even do it anymore.
No, but like who blows up on the internet? Who blows up?
Yeah, I mean, you have a few guys that'll get on like YouTube and.
It's like very few, but look at what they're doing. Like, dude, I watched.
It's all old bands.
I watched Mr. Beast with my daughter today.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say whatever you want about that guy. This was the most interesting video I've ever watched.
They're good, man. Those guys are good.
It was like he was giving away $250,000, and just how cutthroat people got, and the most cutthroat person was this Asian chick. She eliminated like 60.
What were they doing? What was the event?
It was basically they put people on pods, and it's who can last the longest will get like $1 million. I forget what the prize was.
They're just sitting there?
They're sitting in pods, but they were doing eliminations where you could eliminate other people. And it was so crazy how some people were so honest they wouldn't lie. And then
well, lie about what? I don't understand. Is it trivia or something?
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't matter.
No. It was just like...
You know, it's okay.
They did some where they did like the like you remember in Price is Right where they spin the wheel.
Yeah.
Well, they would do spin the wheel. Okay. And they would be like it would come to it. There was okay. So they got 100 people, one of each age, like 1-year-olds up to 100-year-olds. Okay. And they would be like, who leaves the pod? Who can leave the pod last? And of course, all the young people just walked out because like the 1-year-old didn't even know what it was doing. It walked out. So they got eliminated. Then the old people are like, I got to pee. They got eliminated.
I see. Okay.
And then they started playing games on who's going to eliminate who.
You know the move, right? It's just take a big shit in the middle of the pod and just get everybody out there.
I doubt they would allow that to happen on this. I have a feeling that bathroom breaks are the only way you're allowed to leave. They wanted them to leave, but it was like crazy cutthroat. And some people could not lie.
Start farting up a storm.
Yeah. But it was, and like I watched it with my
I still
daughter.
don't understand what they're lying about, though. What's that part?
So they had one where they basically did deal or no deal. And it was safe or eliminated. And so you would pick a number, right? You would pick a suitcase, and I forget how they coordinated with who would pick, but you'd pick a suitcase, and in that suitcase it would say safe or eliminated, and then someone else would have to guess what case you had.
Oh, I see.
Are you going to keep it or are you going to give it away? And then they spin, it would go to somebody. Okay. And they would ask, does your case say safe or eliminated? And they could either lie or tell them the truth. You'd be amazed at how many people told the truth and got eliminated.
That's stupid.
And then the people who lied got passed.
Of course. Yeah.
Right?
That's life.
It's crazy, dude.
So this story's crazy. A retired chiropractor, this is from The Independent, from upstate New York, listen to this, dude, is facing manslaughter charges after he allegedly killed an Elvis Presley impersonator by chloroforming him during sex. Ronald Rayer, 69, is accused of restraining and binding Thomas Kreider, 40, then administering, this is a chiropractor who's doing this, a dangerous dose of chloroform more than one time during a sexual encounter, which led to his death on the 5th of April, according to court documents. 4 days after Kreider's death, Mr. Raymer went to the Saratoga County Sheriff's Office and reported that his body was in the basement of his Milton home, according to the undersheriff.
You know what's so funny? You know he just went over every scenario on how he could get out of this.
Yeah.
And then he's like, there's just no way out. I'm just going to go tell these guys, I just butt-fucked this dude to death, and he's done. It's just crazy to me.
The guy he was with was called T.J. Green, is his stage name, and he worked as a tour guide for a local Star Trek museum.
Oh, man.
Rest in peace. He was only 42 years old.
Rest in peace.
Damn.
Star Trek
Don't
guy.
mess with chloroform, ladies and gents.
Yeah, but dude, you remember the Ed guy that was over here in West Hollywood that was just getting those trans so high on meth, and then they
Ed? I don't know the names of the local trans that are high on
remember
drugs.
there was that Democratic donor that was like serial killing mother.
Yeah.
He would just get them so high that they would like OD and die. That's this guy.
That's crazy.
But I have a feeling that guy might have been in on it. It seems like it would be like
no, I think that's the idea. Yeah.
that he would just do it and get knocked out and just get wrecked.
It sounds like
And
that,
the guy
yeah.
died. He's like, we were both doing it.
It seems like something like that.
Gay, watch out, dude.
So this is the funniest
Gay
fucking
stuff
video
can be
right
deadly.
here. They're investigating this marathon in China. Or
Oh,
half
dude,
marathon.
this is crazy.
The video's so
They don't
funny,
even
dude.
hide it.
No, dude. So this half marathon in China, right?
And
There's
this
guy called
Chinese guy's acting like he did something. Look
this
at him
guy.
right there.
This guy's
He's
called.
like, I did it.
Yeah, his name is He Ji. And there are three. I mean, they're just so bad at pretending to let this guy win.
It's like worse than porn acting.
Yeah, it really is. Look, okay, so that's the finish line right there, and it's so clear. They're all in a line behind him. Look
at him. He's so so ridiculous.
They're all Kenyans. These other guys.
These guys. He's like, yes.
Yeah.
They let me win.
They're lined up behind him so clearly, like they could obviously pass him at any
No,
moment.
but it gets worse than that, Johnny.
And watch this, dude. When they're coming around the corner, you see these Kenyans like waving him.
Yeah,
to, like, go out,
go,
get
come on, get in front of us.
Come on, dude.
No, you gotta go back.
Yeah, I
even
know.
farther.
This is where they keep starting it. I don't. They're
Oh
not,
yeah,
here
right there.
It is, right here. Okay.
They're right there.
This
like
is
there,
right
there
here.
it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
Ready?
hold on. Okay.
Here we go. There we go.
Look
Watch
at
me.
them. He's like,
come
go,
on.
dude. You gotta
Come on,
get in front of us, man.
Get in
Come
front
on.
of us. Get in front of us, dude. Get in front of us.
And you know they paid these guys off, and they didn't think to tell them like, "Hey, make it look good," you know.
And
look, after this is my favorite part. So the Kenyans are totally got their wind after this, and this guy is about to die. Watch him. He's like he's like doubled over in agony, trying to catch his breath. And the Kenyans are just patting him on the back, like, "Good job, dude."
Oh, he's throwing up.
Yeah,
he's
he
throwing
can't
up.
even.
It's so hilarious.
It's so funny,
it's
dude.
It's so hilarious.
It's so
dude.
funny. But
the
wait,
Kenyans
let's see what this
Hold
guy's
on.
saying.
Why is this guy? Why is this guy sitting in a like a Foot Locker shirt? By the way,
I think let's see what he's saying. He might be enlightening us a little bit here.
What's strange about that is that pacers in races are very clearly marked. They have clothes that say pacer on it. If you look at the 2023 Beijing Marathon, the same one, they do have elite runners who aren't Chinese with a thing that says pacer on it. Whereas if you look at the 3 athletes from Africa, William Gant was one of them, they have the same race bib as Hejie.
Boy, I could have given a million
whether
opportunities.
there was any official information.
But what does he say?
Oh, I don't know. That might be the excuse they're trying to give, is to say that these guys were. Oh no, here Kenyan says he let China's Hejie because he's my friend. That's what the guy said.
Yeah. You know you're afraid to get out of China. Like, dude, China will lock you.
They got paid. It's obvious. They got paid.
He is my friend.
Tell him he is your
and
friend.
And the Chinese don't care.
Tell
dude.
him he is your best friend.
Chinese do not give a flying
No, they were all there
fuck.
cheering for him. So did you see Caitlin Clark had her first press conference in
this
Indy?
is great.
And Greg Doyle, this reporter, is a guy who I'm not a fan of. He always shits on North Carolina. But he gets a little fresh with her in this press conference, and they are crucifying him for this. Watch this.
Hi, Caitlin. Greg Doyle, Indy Star. Real quick, let me do this.
So he does her little love hand sign, you know, like that thing that she does with her hands, like a heart. I don't know. Have you ever? I mean, should I put this thing?
It's just like, dude, women are just.
And he does that to her, right? And
Yeah.
and people were like, "Oh, that's creepy." But here we go.
You like that?
I like that you're here. I like that you're here.
I do that at my family after every game, so.
Okay, well,
Very
let's
cool.
start doing it to me, and we'll be able to get along just fine. So, question is.
Now everybody's laughing.
Yeah. Start
She's-
doing it to me, we'll get along.
She's
That's
fine
funny.
with it. They are crucifying him.
Yeah,
for that.
I mean, dude,
he had to issue like the most, just the most fucking browbeaten
this
apology.
is why
the next day
you
in his
can't
column.
take these people serious. None of them take.
She looks pretty good there, by the way, for her.
By the way, I mean, for someone who's a chick, she has an Adam's apple. I've seen 1,000 pictures of it, but I know she's a chick. But she's got some weird, like
anatomy,
vulture anatomy.
No,
No, let it play.
No, that's it. That's the whole thing.
Well, it's just so hilarious to me when you realize that these people, they try to make it about a movement. In reality, it's about them and they're narcissists. And they're all killing this chick because she got a humongous Nike deal. And they're all yelling at him. And it's like, oh, she's doing this, like she's doing huge things for female sports. And you don't care because it's really not about that.
No.
It's really about you getting yours. And you're upset. And what people don't understand is this is the Tiger Woods of women's basketball. The anomaly that stands out, right?
Yeah, sure.
Right? I mean, like, if you look at most of WNBA, it's a lot of big black lesbians, right? And that's it. She's a carnivore. She loves dick. She loves meat.
Good.
They're really angry. Her and have you seen, find the chick who won second in the WNBA? That chick is the best. She's dating the whitest of white guys.
Oh,
Do you think
good.
they're going to stand for that in the WNBA?
I love it. Let's see. Her name is Cameron. Oh, wait. No, it says Cameron Brink. That white chick went second.
Yeah.
You said the girl that went second.
She went second.
But she's white. Oh, I thought you meant she was black. And
No,
she was
no.
okay.
Her boyfriend.
She's the one from that commercial, right?
Yeah, she
And-
from the dog fart
and
commercial.
he's really white, too?
Look at her boy. Look up her boyfriend. It's like He's
I
so
see.
white.
Yeah, he looks like he's one of those Swedish, like that might be an alien or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're like, you could not get two whiter people.
What's he doing to her face there? That's kind of weird.
It's very weird. And like,
Was she shredded up?
it's so weird because, and dude, she obviously already, look how gorgeous she is, right? I mean, that is a gorgeous woman.
Beautiful.
Now, if she hooked up with like a high-end, like, athlete, they would have a super kid. Like a super kid.
Oh, Lord, Steph Curry's already been around her. Watch out.
Oh, he's known her since she was a little girl.
That's crazy.
Right? And look how, like, dude, she's super attractive.
Yeah,
And then everybody,
beautiful.
you know, I mean, look at that picture right there. So it's like, dude, this is why there's no trans in the WNBA, because it's a predominantly lesbian league. They don't have to infiltrate it.
Yeah.
Infiltrate it, right?
No, you're right. Yeah.
That's why. Okay? And that's why they don't like these chicks, because they like dudes. That's why.
You're right.
And they're pissed.
This story's crazy.
It's like, you remember when Owen Benjamin had a sketch called Gay Town?
No, I haven't seen that.
It was a funny ass sketch where he was the only straight guy in a gay town.
You want me to pull it up, or is it like?
See if you can find it. Gay Town with Owen Benjamin. It's super funny, but that's basically it. These girls are straight girls in a gay town.
Was it a series? It says it was a TV series.
No, it was a MySpace series.
But it was a series, so it's not a sketch. It's not like
It
one.
was a series, yes.
Okay, here's like a 51-second thing that has something. Okay. Oh no, what's that?
I've always known I was different. I never fit in with the other guys. I always wanted to play basketball with the girls. Well, all the boys did ballet or figure skated. Do you guys need one more? I'm tall. Guys can be cruel, and sometimes the beatings were vicious.
Pace my skate.
It's hard being a heterosexual. So much pressure to be a normal gay guy and get a boyfriend, get a matching jumpsuit, get a small dog and put a sweater on it. Live a normal life. I've always tried to fit in, but you can't hide who you are. I'm an outsider. I'm a straight man living in Gay Town.
This is West Hollywood, by the way.
But this is basically what these straight girls have to go through in the WNBA.
Yeah, totally, for sure. No, you're right. It is West Hollywood too.
Okay, Johnny, I really gotta
Hold on,
go.
you want this? Listen to me. This is
I mean,
crazy.
you guys, if you guys yell at me, how long we been into this?
Is 2 hours. 2 hours.
This is over 2 hours,
TMZ,
Johnny.
a Brazilian woman tried to pull a weekend at Bernie's with her dead uncle, wheeling his body into her local bank and trying to take out a loan in his name, which got her busted. Look at this picture, dude. Look at that, bro. Erica de Souza Vieira Nunez got caught on camera earlier this week in Rio de Janeiro, where she appeared to have a corpse with her as she attempted to secure some financing, about a $3,400 loan per report.
Okay, can I ask you, why are they blurring out his face? He's
I
dead.
don't know.
He's not
Just
going to
don't
worry
wanna
about.
disrespect
Can you
the dead,
look and see if we can see his face?
I don't want to see his face.
I want to see it. 'cause-
Disrespect the dead? You don't
Yeah,
wanna
well,
disrespect-
dude, the story disrespects the dead. You find it hilarious.
She disrespects the dead. It doesn't have his name, so I can't really. Let me see if I can just search her name and maybe it'll.
I mean, dude, it's just like unbelievable, dude. And look at that picture of her smiling right there. She's like,
Do you think they all called her
Oh,
over
there
to
he
pose?
is. There he is. There it is.
Oh, he's so dead, dude. They probably called her over to pose for pictures. Like, yeah, we just want to get a. It's normal for us to take pictures.
Hold on, is that him before he
no.
died?
Yeah, dude. And yeah, it is him. And then she took his ass in to get a loan.
Oh my!
That's the
God.
craziest
And she
story.
shaved him. Unbelievable, dude.
Oh.
Unbelievable, bro.
They're like, she knew he was dead. By the way, that's one of the quotes. It's like she knew he was dead.
She knew he was dead, not sleeping forever.
God, that's so funny. I'll just do a quick rundown. You'll like this. This is our new speed round. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
James Hatfield got Lemmy from Motorhead's tattoo with his ashes on him. James Hatfield has a Lemmy tattoo with Lemmy's ashes. AI made a mistake on Twitter because you know those things, those trending topics on the side, those are generated by AI. And so Klay Thompson laid so many bricks in the playoffs that their AI wrote that Authorities are investigating the claims after several individuals report that Klay Thompson has been accused of vandalizing multiple houses with bricks in Sacramento.
Oh my! Oh my! That poor guy. Johnny. There's nobody more disrespected than Klay. Even though he had a bad game.
The AI is disrespecting him now. Norway is cracking down on crypto, and this is how they might get crypto, by going into these servers that are using too much energy and saying it's like anti-climate change. You know what I'm saying? Like that they're not energy efficient enough, and they're shutting some down. A guy.
Well, do you know the guy that set himself on fire? His whole thing was that crypto is the biggest Ponzi scheme in the world.
Yeah, I heard that. I don't believe it, but a man who told investigators he killed his friend because he thought he was summoning Bigfoot was convicted on Wednesday. He killed his friend because he thought he was summoning Bigfoot to come eat him, is what the guy said.
Dude, I'll take who's on crystal meth for 1,000.
He looks like it too. Aaron Rodgers getting a lot of shit for saying Anthony Fauci's a scumbag. Props to Aaron Rodgers.
You want him on tinfoil hat.
I desperately want him on tinfoil hat. There's a new paintball feature, a new home security camera with a paintball gun feature.
I love it.
That will just ace out.
Start shooting everybody until you shoot the wrong person, then you get sued like a motherfucker.
It turns out in space that the bacteria they took up there, some of them have turned drug resistant. They're like they're creating super bacteria on the space station in space, if you believe in space.
I don't.
There's a guy who's suing Cinemark because their 24-ounce cups only have 22 ounces of liquid. They only hold 22 ounces of liquid.
Yeah, dude. Everyone's got their personal war.
Trevor Bauer, who is blackballed by MLB, apparently had his second start today in Mexico. 6 innings, 0 hits.
It's not even that,
0
dude.
runs, 14 strikeouts, including 9 straight strikeouts and an immaculate inning.
Bro, this guy can't stick his dick in something without crazy happening. Yeah, that's true. Did you hear about the chick?
Yeah.
A second chick now is on trial for blackmail and extortion.
Yeah,
and it's some hot black chick out of Arizona, and she faked pregnancy, which happens way more than you think.
Of course it does.
This poor guy, man, they should let him back in the league.
Nobody will either, and the journalists, because they're all fucking liberals, are really dismissive of it. The beat journalists, anytime fans bring it up, they're like, "Oh, you guys are idiots." Here's the last thing. This is out of Parkland, North Carolina, but it's part of a troubling trend of violence against teachers.
I want to see it.
It's just okay. It's a woman getting slapped in the face by her student. And nobody's doing anything. The students are all just got their cameras out, like, "Oh shit, dog!" And it's a male student slapping a female teacher in the face, just slapping the shit out of her.
Dude, I'm telling you, going viral is going to be the downfall of the country.
It's disgusting. Anyway, that's all. That's
why they're getting rid. That's another reason they're gonna want to get rid of TikTok.
How do you like that? That's our speed round. We end with a speed run at the
guys.
end.
Go to samtripoli.com. Check out my days.
We need the word for.
The word is would, coulda, would. I don't know, dude.
Would, coulda, would?
Yeah.
I like that. Would, coulda, would. Thank you, Isaac, for our gift there.
Our
gift
great
box.
gift. We love it, buddy.
That was tremendous. Please leave reviews for us. We're pathetic. We need reviews. Come on. We need positive reinforcement. It also helps us in the algorithm. Say goodbye, Sam.
Bye, Johnny. I'm going to kill you.